Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first edition of the Spike Ridgley Show for this season. I'm your host, Dave Sheets, and with me tonight is the manager of the Massillon Tiger baseball team, Spike Ridgley. We want to thank our new sponsor for this season, Ryan Prosser and D. Hoff Realtors. Coach, welcome to the show.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, we love having you here, and before we talk about this year's team, we want to learn a little bit more about you personally. You grew up here in Massillon and in a baseball family, right?
Yeah, I played here for 4 years, walked these halls, and it was a special moment when I got a chance to come back and lead the team here.
Very good. Now, when in your life and at what point did you make the decision that teaching and coaching would be your career choice?
Well, both my parents and my uncle were teachers, so I kind of got introduced to seeing their, how we grew up. And then I actually had a marketing degree and did that for 5 years. And just had the itch. I really wanted to. I went back to school, and it was probably when I was about 24, 25 years old, and ended up going back to school to make it happen. So,
how about up to this point? Give us your coaching resume.
Well, I coached. Actually, got my start in the summer times with Stark County Terriers. So did that while I was still doing marketing. It was the only time I could do it because it worked around the schedule a little better in the summertime. And then ended up being I was a JV coach actually here for 1 year, and then ended up having an opportunity to be an assistant coach at Mount Union College. And one thing led to the next. I got my teaching degree, and gosh, I think this is somewhere near year 15 coaching, and this year is the 5th year as a head coach.
Okay. Now, what are some of the needed basics when it comes to building a successful and lasting baseball program, in your opinion?
Well, I think as I've gotten older and done this longer, I think in year 1 and 2 you're kind of figuring out your personality in the role and how that goes. But really, it's based on relationships. The more I do this, the more I understand and know that that's really the priority is developing strong, positive relationships with the administration, with the players first and foremost, and your coaching staff. And if you have those things in order and those things are strong, then I find that the strategy is much more, efficient to implement.
Okay. All right, and tell us about your coaching staff at all the levels here at the high school. Now, I know you'll be the first to say you don't do it alone. So, who are the guys that are helping you out? No,
this has been one of the best staffs I've ever been around this year. We have Bobby Huth is our assistant freshman coach. He was the quarterback of the finals team. I think that was in 2007. Then we have Bo Grunder as a math teacher at the middle school. He is our head freshman coach. On the JV staff, we have Evan Burberry. He's just finishing up school, hoping to get a teaching job in the district. He's our head JV coach. And then we have, as an assistant JV coach, his name is Austin Wyatt. He's actually a student teacher right now with Spencer Leno in the building, and he's done an outstanding job. He's very mature past his years as I'm getting to know him. And then on the varsity staff, it's myself. We have Jamie Mercerick. He's a guidance counselor. He does a fantastic job. He handles a lot of the defensive stuff, and then he does a lot of work behind the scenes with designing things and uniforms and hats. Just really helps in that regard. Mike Parker is our third base coach. We picked up Mike. He was actually the head coach at Lake for 7 years. Decided to step down, kind of wanted to get away from the administrative part of being a head coach, so was able to bring him in. He's done a great job with our hitting. Toby Benson is our outfield coach. He's a teacher at the middle school. He also handles all the in-game as far as paperwork is concerned on the dugout walls and such. So he does a tremendous job for us. And then we have Nick Todich as our pitching coach. He's actually it's his 3rd year with us. He's been the head freshman coach and the head JV coach, so he's seen all parts of the program, and he's done a tremendous job at getting his first opportunity being on the varsity staff. And then a guy that I just simply can't leave out is Lee Kuntz. He's our athletic trainer, and I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Lee was the head athletic trainer for the Washington Nationals for 10 years. Wow. So we have an MLB guy in the dugout with us every day that has seen just about everything that you can see. So our kids get the best possible care.
That's outstanding. All right. Well, very good. And we'll talk more with Spike in just a moment, and we'll visit with a Tiger player. But first, this word from Ryan Prosser and DeHoff Realtors.
Hi, I'm Ryan Prosser with DeHoff Realtors, specializing in lifestyles, not just homes. Finding a realtor who understands the ins and outs of a home while also taking the time to listen to your wants and needs is important. With over 20 years experience in home remodeling, I have the knowledge to help you buy or sell a home with confidence.
Choose my daddy to be your realtor.
Thanks to Ryan Prosser and DeHoff Realtors, and welcome back to the Spike Ridgley Show. I'm your host, Dave Sheets. The Tiger player joining us this week is senior pitcher Blake Jenkins. And Blake, as a senior on this year's team, are you comfortable with the idea of being a leader and making a positive impact on some of the younger guys?
Definitely. I always try and be like a positive voice to the other guys and just try and keep the morale up with them.
How old were you when you started playing baseball, and who introduced the game to you?
I was probably around 6 years old when I started playing baseball. Definitely introduced to by my father, always a big baseball guy. So,
from a pitching standpoint, what do you feel are your strengths, and then in what areas do you feel you still need to improve?
I'd say my strengths are probably my mechanics, but location is always something that I need to work on.
Did you set any personal goals for yourself before the start of this season?
Definitely. I always wanted to, like you said, step up and be more of a leader this year, just because of the senior role and needing guys. But yeah.
Okay. And then how about the team? Are there any specific goals that you can mention that the team is interested in this year?
Well, definitely. We always want to improve on from last year and hopefully make it past the barrier and just keep winning more playoff games each year.
The Tigers are off to a 4-1 start after your big win over McKinley. I understand that you earned the save that night. You got the last out of the game. How do you feel about your team's start this year off to 4-1?
You know, 4-1, that's always a good start. That was a very good team we were able to beat last night. But there's always room for improvement, so we're never satisfied. So we always got to keep working.
Well, thanks, Blake, and best of luck.
Thank you.
Spike, how fortunate for you that you have an experienced pitcher like Blake that you can count on.
Yeah, no doubt about it, and particularly last night, you know, it was one of those games where we were, you know, we just weren't throwing as many strikes as we wanted to. Guys were battling, no doubt, but we just, you know, it wasn't happening for us. And so to be able to have him come in really after sitting for almost 3 hours and come in and just really talk about controlling your heart rate, to be able to compete in that moment, and he was able to do that for us in a really big spot.
This baseball team and here at the high school has a lot of tradition. Had some down years before you came. You're now in your 4th season here at Massillon. How would you summarize the first 3 years?
Really, the first 3 years for us it was just kind of establishing, you know, what we wanted the culture to be. You know, we came into a situation where the team had great success the year before, right when we came in. So, you know, for us, it was just getting in and meeting the kids, and the kids getting acclimated to us, but also us really focusing on earning the trust of the kids. That's a big part of it. And then putting in the X's and O's part of it, each year has really, it's been a little bit smoother simply because the kids know a little bit more what to expect. And, you know, I couldn't ask for a better group of guys that we've been able to work with, because the kids are willing to work hard. They're tough kids. And I expected that coming back to Massillon, that I was going to be coaching tough kids that wanted to be pushed hard. And they have definitely fit that bill, and it's been a very enjoyable experience for us. But like he said, we're never satisfied. We're always trying to get better.
So you start off the year, you've won 4 out of 5. What are your expectations for this team?
You know, we're a team that is We've got some experience in a couple spots, but we're not nearly as experienced as we were last year. That's okay, because I think we're still talented, and we're talented where you need to be talented. But this team is searching for experience, and it's searching for consistency. And I think, we haven't played our best game yet, but you shouldn't 5 games in. Mm-hmm. You're very fortunate if you're already doing that. But we're searching for more consistency. And for us, that starts in practice. And that will carry over to the game for us. But I think, if you start this thing off and you're looking at 4-1, mm-hmm. You get to learn while also being successful, and that's, you don't always get to do that. And so for us, we're very grateful for that part of it, but we're going to continue working hard.
As you look down the bench, you see guys like Blake. Mm-hmm. Who are some of the other guys you're really counting on to lead the way?
Well, we only carry, I think there's 14 available guys that we keep with us because, look, we want to get the guys in the game and we want them to play. We want them to have contributing roles if they're in there with us. And, you look down the bench and you're looking at experienced guys like him. Mm-hmm. Another guy is Amar Eid Alkire. He's a junior. He's been starting for us since he was a freshman. He's our third baseman this year. He leads off for us. Mm-hmm. Zane Myers behind the plate. He's a senior. He played a lot last year. It kind of rotated him in the senior catcher last year. Then you got a senior pitcher in Jonathan Mockamer. So he's a guy that we're going to be counting on in big innings. And it was good to see him get an opportunity to pitch yesterday.
And finally, you have another busy week coming up, with the mm-hmm. weather and everything else. So between the show tonight and next week, who are we going to be facing off against?
We're looking at this Friday. We have St. Ignatius, so that'll be a heck of a challenge for us, but that's why we schedule that. We want that. We have Ellet on Saturday. We have Monday is Glen Oak. And then Wednesday, we will face an Alliance team that's going to be bringing in an Ohio State recruit on the mound. I fully expect to see him. He'll pitch that day, I would imagine. Mm-hmm. And then we go Friday back over to McKinley for a 7 o'clock spot at Munson. And we round the week out with Green on Saturday. So a lot of opportunities for us to get better. And I fully expect that we will. And for us, progress for us, obviously you want to win all your games. But progress for us is going to be in the inside portion of the games as far as, 60% strikes. Our program goals are 60% on all the in-game pieces. Mm-hmm. But our biggest opportunity right now, if you were able to catch the game against McKinley, was our strike percentage. And we're going to go to work on that in practice today.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have been talking, you and I, for the last couple of years of getting a show together each week. So here we are.
Yeah.
We made it finally. And we thank you for your time today. Blake, we thank you as well. I'm going to thank our sponsor, Ryan Prosser and DeHoff Realtors. And for the Spike Ridgley Show, I'm Dave Sheets. Thank you for watching. And as always, go Tigers.
Massillon City Schools is proud to have one of the top career technical education programs in the state of Ohio, recently receiving a #1 ranking of the 93 districts in the area of achievement. Our Career Technical Education Department offers 14 pathways preparing students for college and careers. All students have the opportunity to participate and compete in their career technical student organization, as well as obtain valuable experience in the field while earning aligned industry credentials and/or college credit in high school. Visit massillonschools.org for more information.